A very good afternoon, all. Welcome to the GL Project Showcase AI and ML. I'm Supraja, Program Manager of PGP IML programs at Grade 1. I now invite our first team to showcase their project. The project is Motor Insurance Accident Assist, developed for the insurance domain. The speakers are Mr. Basil, Mr. Prasanna, and Mr. Srikanth. Now let's give the floor to the team. Over to you.
Thank you, Supraja. Thank you, Great Learning, for giving us this opportunity, and a very good afternoon to you all. So, in today's world, we all know that digital transformation is the most talked one. And of course, why not? Because it's changing our lives. AI and ML it plays a pivotal role in this particular journey of digital transformation. And if you look at all the industries, across industries, business leaders are looking for ways to stay as close to their customers. And this has become their key focus because they want to retain the base and also increase the base in the days of the pandemic right now. Insurance industry is no difference. It's no exception. That is why we are here to present you the MIA Assist. MIA Assist stands for Motor Insurance Accident Assist. The goal of MIA Assist is to help the insurance industry and predominantly the insurers to quickly and efficiently and in a transparent manner complete their customer engagement journey. We are a team of three, Basil, Prasanna, and myself, Srikanth, here to present you about the MIA Assist. So what we would want to do as part of this particular presentation is to show how in the insurance industry, if especially when we're talking about the accident claims, if that can be kind of reduced, that the overall time period for completing your insurance claim can be reduced by 90 percentage, when many of the insurance are actually kind of struggling to actually complete the claims in it, and it takes about anywhere between 1 to 3 days. And there is also many other challenges, costs which are incurred. Can there be a automation through a digital bot service which will be handy for each and every insurer who can actually complete their entire insurance claim process? And we want to see how we can eliminate the entire need for manual inspection when it comes to minor accidents, and then go forward and see how it actually can be expanded for the major accidents. Now, before I can go and talk about the product, I would like to kind of quickly touch upon the actual industry. Let's talk a bit about the insurance industry. We all know the insurance industry is a very large market. If you look at just about the motor insurance alone, it's the worth of the market, or the net revenue for the market, is about 70,000 crores just for the motor insurance, and that we are talking of only in India. And if you look at the growth also, it's kind of it's growing at a pace of 11.36 percentage CAGR, which is a double-digit number vis-a-vis other markets that you or industries that you see right now. And but the problem with the industry is that it's known for its slow procedures. That's because of the layered and tired methods in which they actually kind of operate. Let's, for example, take that you have had an accident. What happens? You have to go and try to reach out to a specific number, try to talk to a agent, and then in all of the kind of hurry that you're actually having at that point of an accident, you have to reach to the agent and then get your insurance claim processed. All of this is going to take a lot of time also. And once you register a claim, then somebody comes, an assessor comes. He takes about few hours, and if sometimes it takes about a few days to kind of assess your car, and then you actually kind of come with a report. Okay, they say here is a report that your insurance is approved for a specific value, and it's kind of a lengthy process, whereas the customer expectation is that they want to do it in minutes and sometimes in hours, right? So that's the expectation, and there's a huge gap between the expectation and uh, actuality there. Now, talking about the trust and transparency, also, it's very possible that insurance assessors come with some report, and the actual insurer is not happy with the report. Also, it's not transparent. Each one has their own methodology of assessing the damage. So that's also a gap. Can that be something which we can overcome? Is what we are going to look at. Talking about the base, customer base, we all know that we understand that there is a huge base, but that's with the market which is growing. I mean, in the Taiwan cities, people keep buying cars or vehicles. But when you talk about the tier two and tier three cities, what happens is most of the nearly 50 percentage of the insurance customers do not renew the actual their vehicle insurance. This is because of various reasons. They are not they find out some other alternatives, or they are not interested at all. Can digital adoption bring which can be brought in front of the customer save the overall cost structure, and by saving the cost structure, can that money be put for marketing so that an insurance company can lure all of these tier two and tier three customers back to renew their insurance, is what we want to do. In nutshell, we were trying to actually kind of bring in an overall transparency and providing a bot service to our customers, where an interaction starts when you have an accident, and how you actually are able to complete your insurance claim in minutes. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Basil, who will be talking about the different modules and how this is possible.
Hey, thank you, Srikanth. This is Basil. Good afternoon, all. And with the market potential just conveyed by Srikanth, we found the need for a pluggable and repeatable expert service. So we are offering Mia Assist as a subscription-based product that insurance companies can add to their existing suite of online capabilities. Now, Mia is provisioned as a WhatsApp AI bot and will be available to policy owners as a WhatsApp number. So once users have this WhatsApp number, they will be able to report and claim an accident through a well-known popular chat interface in India. So we specifically chose WhatsApp Business due to the large customer base adoption that we need in India. Users will be able to again have guided human-like conversations, and will be able to also identify the extent of the damage using their phone cameras. So users will be now, it will enable users to have an estimated damage repair cost, after which there will be automated workflows, such as getting to the nearest garage, completing claim submission, etc. Now, what is unique here is Mia is customizable to meet all the branding and legal requirements of insurance companies. So we can repeat this with other insurance providers. Next slide, please. So for going for a scalable production approach, we envision a microservice architecture where AI inferences will be executed as services. Now, we will have a continuous development environment, which will include model retraining workflows, model optimization, model evaluations, and even application service developments. So we will look at leveraging cloud training services such as AWS SageMaker, or even go ahead and build custom training workflows using Kubeflow. So for data sets, as you will see in our upcoming roadmap, we will be planning to collaborate with an alpha customer. This is to mature our deep learning models. Here, this will enable us to use historical chat transcripts that they already have, use damage pictures repository that they already collect, and also, take in historical claim payout information that they already have. But in the pre-initial phase, we will have to create and use available free or paid data sets, or even web scraped images to get alpha customer and investor confidence. Now, while we leverage GPU for model training in development, for production, we plan to leverage Intel hardware. This is for running AI inference and application workloads. And this will enable us to bring down the total cost of ownership as we continue to scale. For the AI conversational service that you see there, we are evaluating to use Dialogflow with WhatsApp chat interface. We are also looking at other NLPs like Google Natural Language APIs or Amazon Lex, or even go ahead and build custom engine using Rasa. Now, moving into the damage diagnosis module, we will have a computer vision based deep learning service, uh, which will which will be able to segment out body parts of the vehicle and also further segment out the damage area. So this information, along with the car make, model, intensity of damage, location, and baseline repair cost, will be fed into our linear regression model, uh, which will then predict damage repair cost. So once we get the damage repair cost, all our RPA, robotic process automation flows will kick in, and we will be able to leverage and automate most of the claim submission process. We will also enable a custom data plugin to retrieve and secure customer policy information from our insurance customers. And let's take a deeper look into the damage diagnosis module. Next slide, please. So here, if you see, we have captured calibrated images through a WhatsApp conversation, right? And we will route the API calls efficiently through a Kubernetes-based control and data plane. And once the API calls are registered, our deep learning models will be hosted or served on Intel hardware platforms using Openvino model server. Now, what is Openvino model server? Openvino is a toolkit from Intel that will enable you to optimize, deploy, and infer your AI workloads on different Intel hardware. Now, this includes hardwares like Intel CPU, integrated GPU, and they have these highly specialized, high-density deep learning cards that will leverage your AI workload and distribute it accordingly. Now, we can also use all these hardware SKUs together. Now, this is why we envision our total cost of ownership to come down versus using a GPU blade server when we look at scaling to a larger customer base. Now, with this, we would like to take a step back, show you how the policy owner will experience Mia Assist, and I will call upon I'll call back Srikanth to show you a mock-up prototype that we have.
Sure, Basil. Thank you so much. Now let me switch my screen to show you a quick demo. Right. So as you can see, the customer journey will start from, say, an app and motor insurance. So we're going to provide a WhatsApp number, and this WhatsApp number will be there for each of the insurance companies. So this module can be plugged into the WhatsApp number can be plugged up into their specific maybe into their application, mobile application or web application or anything of that sort. Now let's say I've actually kind of had an accident and see how I'm going to interface with Mia. So I started my interaction with Mia, and it greets me, and it tries to understand why am I here for. I'm here to report an accident, and that's what when I say it naturally understands that the intent is about an accident and asks for additional information of the actual thing. Now here, as soon as I actually provide the information, Mia then tries to find out what its records, what is there as part of the records, what is the kind of car make it has. Now it detected that Renault Duster is the car I have, and the insurance it's trying to check if if this particular claim is for that particular car. And once I confirm, it also tries to give me some instruction as to how the insurance claim process can be completed. So now the Mia will start asking me to take a picture. So I take the camera, I switch to the camera, and I take a picture of the damaged area. As you can see here, my right side bumper has gone with some damage, and some wheel arch also has a damage. And these two components needs the body shop and paint work. So let's see what Mia does after this. So Mia goes back from its backend module. We have seen all the four modules. Now it goes to the damage analysis module and looks for the specific parts and sees what is the extent of the damage and comes out with an initial estimation and assessment. And the assessment says, okay, now you have the damage across these two parts, and marks those two parts and comes out and asks for a confirmation again to the user or the customer. Once I confirm back, the Mia Assist provides this information to the linear regression model, and then the linear regression model comes back and says, okay, you have two parts which needs the work, and what is the maximum amount of claim process that can be done. Right now, it says that now 15,000 is the maximum claim amount, and you can go ahead. So here it asks whether you want to go forward and complete your claim process. From here, the RPA starts. As you all are aware, when you actually go for a claim process, predominantly you have to go for paperwork. A lot of paperwork, manual work is done. You have to provide information as to where the accident happened, what is the time of the accident, what is the short description of accident. All of this is kind of provided digitally on the Mia Assist itself and gets captured. You're also given an option where you will be able to digitally sign that particular form, right? And then the entire information gets captured. As you can see, I've completed providing all the information, and the form is provided and with the insurance claim number. Now, next step that happens with the Mia is it gives you it also gives you a guidance from your location, which is the nearest a garage or a showroom where you need to kind of take this car, and a helpline number also can be done. So this is a flow that has been created, and each of the insurance organizations can have different flows, and it is a pretty much customizable module. So here is a mock-up I wanted to show you. Now I'll just go switch back and hand it over to my colleague Prasanna, who will talk to you about the go-to-market strategy of Mia Assist.
Thanks, Shrikant. And yeah, so as my colleagues explained, is a brief product roadmap you are seeing. So we will go with our alpha customers for around 4 to 5 months to train the deep learning model of our system, and after that we will partner with a kind of some of the alpha, at least one alpha customers or some of the alpha customers, and we will take it along with the alpha customers for the product launch, which will happen between around 8 to 10 months time. Next slide, please. So our business model is based on a kind of deep understanding of the business strategy as well as the technological strategy. So we are very confident that the solution, the end-to-end solution, will be very useful for our customers and also their end customers. So we have a very strong fundamental reasoning that this will be a very successful business model. And we also having a kind of a good financial strategy to ensure that our cost structure is low, lean, and also able to withstand for a longer duration. So coming to our revenue model, it's a purely a subscription-based revenue model, which is very easy for people to go and follow that out, and also based on the API calls. So it's completely based on the volume of users, and definitely it's very attractive schemes we are planning to go and give to our customers, so that definitely we are going to get more. It should be a win-win situation to both of us. And also definitely this entire thing has its own advantages and disadvantages, which we'll come explain later. Next slide, please. So having a quick look into the revenue and the kind of return on investment. So we are expecting close to $16 million in next, around 5 years time period. With a gross margin of close to 70%, which is substantially a good gross margin. And we have taken into account considering some of the tough situation like the current pandemic situation as well. But still, we feel we are strong. The solution what we are offering is very, very niche and kind of very unique solution, and a huge customer base also available right now in India to cater this. So we are very strong and bullish on our business model. And just before closing this, definitely we also understand that we have competition. Probably we may have some challenges and we may have some risk out of that. Maybe one of the major challenges we are foreseeing is the kind of we need to transform the legacy system currently, which is in practice in India, to a newer system. The approach or the change, the approach needs to be little changing. So definitely that may be a challenge for some time. But considering the benefits out of people are going to get, we are very confident that the insurance company and the end users will not going to have any issues in adapting to that change. And yes, there are this involves kind of lot of personal data and personal informations and other things. So we will have some kind of government regulation that keep changing due to certain times and other things. So we are taking into all consideration these challenges, risk, and competitions, and we are preparing ourselves to tackle those things successfully. So we are very confident that this is a kind of one of the best solution we can able to offer to the insurance sector. And definitely once this is going to be just a start, once the motor insurance segment is over, I think we are planning to explorate the same kind of models to other areas as well, as to health side as well as other domestic sites, wherever it is possible. Thank you very much, and probably that's it from our end.
So we open to the question and answers.
Hi, team. So let's now move on to the question and answer segment. So I'll read out the questions one by one. Your first question is, any specific model you have used on determining the level of damage?
So we are looking at using mask RCNN based model approach, and use TensorFlow as a framework to develop our model. Yeah, so this is specifically because we need segmentation. So we need to segment out the body part, as I said, and also the damage within the body part. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you. And your second question is, how can be the reason behind the damage would be validated? Example, if the driver was under alcohol, etc.
Can you repeat the question, please?
How can be the reason behind the damage would be validated? The reason behind the damage. If
Okay.
the driver was under alcohol.
Yeah. So here we do not validate that. So that is for insurance records. As we kick in the claims submission process, it is required for the interface to capture information of the scenario of the accident. So we don't necessarily validate that. We try to validate the extent of the damage and come out with the cost associated with the damage. And again, if the damage is the intensity is too high, we would have a physical inspection recommended. For example, if there is a damage, we detect that the damage level is too deep, so that the engine or the internal chassis might be impacted, we would need a physical inspection back then. Yeah. Thank you.
So your next question is, how are you validating whether images of the same insured car or vehicle? I'll repeat once again. How are you validating whether images of the same insured car or vehicle?
We don't necessarily need to. So the car make and the model will be available as part of the insurance details. Now, once we train our deep learning model, that's specifically why we are using deep learning and mask are seen in here, so that we can train the models to detect body part. For example, I'll be able to know this is the right door, and irrespective of the damage, whether it is a damage on the bumper or a scratch or a dent, we will have that trained and segmented out using deep learning.
Just to extend on what Basil had mentioned, see, once the insurance claim is done, somebody has to take the car to the garage before, and the garage team also requires the clearance from the insurance, and they will have some money coming in as a process. And at that point in time, this information could be validated.
Yeah, what Srikanth says is right, because this is just a claim process, and validation is definitely because the chassis number and the vehicle number, everything will be when the amount will be settled through the garage. Everything can be verified physically there.
Thank you. The next question is, how can you verify the photo is not fake one?
This is a very good question. So we will have to make sure we train the model accordingly, and we calibrate the image directly from the WhatsApp interface, and so as to try to avoid fake images being represented. But again, as I said, there are further workflows that will detect whether there has been a fraud that happened in an earlier step.
Thank you. The next question is, if damage is on multiple places, how are you combining total cost?
So the total cost is not just based on the different damages that are there. So as I said, we will feed in information such as the area of damage in different body parts, that along with the car make, model, the location where the accident, where the claim is going to be processed. All this will be put into linear regression model so that we can predict out the repair cost. So there'll be several factors leading to the end cost.
Thank you. So how will your MIA get the car insurance details from various providers?
Yeah, again, good question. So I spoke about a data plugin, which so once let's say ICICI Lombard is our alpha customer, so we will have a engagement with them in which we will tweak our custom data plugin and retrieve or access the required policy information from the customer system. So this will happen for every customers that we engage in. Thank you.
Thank you. So the last question to you is, what was the overall conceptualization, design, and deployment time frame?
So what we presented to you on one of the slide was a product roadmap. So this is something that we as leaders, we did a market study, and we have come up with a solution or a product that will sell in the market. And the next step is to get into that product roadmap, which Prasanna had presented and executed. So it will take around we envision a time frame around 6 to 9 months to engage the alpha customer and the beta customers and to finally launch the product. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team. Thanks for your time for presenting your projects. So we'll end up the session.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
everyone. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.